Hi folks, Henry Bowman here, St. Clair Shores Parks and Recreation Director. We're out here at Blossom Heath Park at the St. Clair Shores Farmers Market. Our opening market is flowers, food trucks, and farmers. But what really makes it special is we have Chef Bobby Nahra here from Encore, from Fox 2, bringing our first farmers market fresh to you. So, and he's got something really special ready to cook up for you. So take it away, Chef Bobby.
Okay, so hey everybody, I'm Chef Bobby. This is my assistant, Chef Alan. Alan's been with me 12 years. He's a St. Clair Shores resident. I would like to welcome you to our first Sunday of our Farmers Fresh Market. Farmers Fresh Market was started by Henry and the mayor and a good group of people here in St. Clair Shores. I love this city. I have 2 businesses in Macomb County, and it's an honor to be here in front of these great people. It's nice to see everybody unmasked and back to life. Let's hear it. I was just talking with one of our frontline workers that works at Beaumont. She's around here somewhere, and with all sincerity, I want to thank our frontline workers for allowing us to stay open during this craziness that we've been through with COVID. She's a blessing. She works at Beaumont Royal Oak. My daughter is also a frontline worker at Beaumont Grosse Pointe. And I don't think it wasn't for their efforts, I don't think that my catering hall would be open today. So we're very blessed to have frontline workers and doing what they do. And again, it's an honor to be here. My buddy Brent from Boat Keepers and his family, another St. Clair Shores guy over there. What's going on, Brent? So today we're going to make a carbonara. I grew up eating this dish. Mediterranean food is, they say, is like peasant food. So this is basically, I've rendered down some bacon, and you just buy inexpensive bacon. This recipe calls for an ingredient called guanciale, which is the pig cheeks, the pork cheeks. And again, the Sicilian and Italian heritage, the food's basically peasant food, but they always figured out a way to utilize ingredients that the rich people didn't want. So this is a very affordable dish. It's very easy. There's not a lot of ingredients. You start with eggs, bacon, just very inexpensive pasta, and a Parmesan or Pecorino Romano, something that you like. You don't even need fresh garlic. You can use granulated garlic, salt, and pepper with this dish. So I've taken the time to just render this down. It takes about 15 minutes, and I've simmered this bacon down, and I cut it into about half-inch pieces, and then you end up with little tiny segments like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this aside over here just for a second. I'm going to reserve some of this beautiful bacon fat. Everybody like bacon fat? And then I'm going to not keep all this. I'm going to just dump some of this oil in here. I'm going to leave a little bit in there for the pasta. Okay. Speaking of pasta, I pre-cooked a little bit, but I'm going to show you how to do pasta Italian style. This is a linguine noodle. It's not a thick linguine noodle. Salt is key, okay? You're going to put about a half a cup of salt in your water, okay? You're going to take your noodles. I'm going to get rid of this basket for now. You're going to drop them in here, just kind of stir them a little bit, get that water moving, and just gradually just kind of let those fall into the water. The starch water is really important. That's why I seasoned it with a lot of salt. So again, back to the peasant way of eating pasta. My grandmother, who was born in Sicily, told me that the rich people could afford the dry pasta like this because it was already made at the store. You can just buy it as a convenience. But the poor, when she grew up, they would have to buy the flour, buy the eggs, and make the pasta from scratch because, well, it was like a third of the price. So she said, only in America, the American people think that the fresh pasta is better, but the dry pasta is actually better. So we use dry pasta. So that's Grandma Sarah, God rest her soul. She taught me that when I was a young kid. So, because she's like, don't be impressed with fresh pasta. Don't pay the extra money. So I'm going to have Alan, while I'm making this, he's going to walk around with this mic and just pass it. If you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask me some questions about food while I'm cooking. I'd like to get the crowd involved a little bit. If anybody has a question, just raise your hand. Alan will bring the mic over to you. And we got grilling season coming up, right? So you ever make burgers on the grill and it like flames up a little bit? Ice cubes work great. Just throw ice cubes on the grill, a little trick so it doesn't flame up. If you're making lamb chops or steaks, instead of hosing it down with water and washing away all your seasoning off your steaks or your lamb chops or your kebabs. So just keep a little handful of ice cubes in a little glass and just sprinkle them on the grill. It helps knock everything down. Pretty cool, huh? So another step is separating the eggs, which everyone's done this, I'm sure. So you're going to take your egg yolks, which are extremely high in fat, and they emulsify and make a sauce really well. The whites I would reserve for an omelet, or like we used to do, we used to just add the whole egg to our pasta dish to create a little bit more protein. At Encore, we add eggs to our pasta before we add the sauce. We put butter, garlic, salt, pepper, Parmesan cheese, fresh chopped parsley. We crack a few eggs in there, and the eggs cook in that hot, steamy pasta. And the cool thing about that is it adds almost like a coating. And then your meat sauce or your marinara sauce, which happens to be very acidic, just attaches to that egg protein, and your noodles stay really, really saucy and delicious and velvety, and it gives it a completely different texture. So we're not going to overcook our noodles. We're going to make these al dente because we're going to finish them in the pan. So now, real simple. I have a salt, pepper, and garlic mixture. You can make this up ahead of time. We use this at Encore. It's called our house mix. So it's a third salt, a third pepper, and a third granulated garlic. And we just mix it in a big bowl with a whisk, and then we put it in little containers, and we ship them all over our catering. So I have about 6 eggs here, just the yolks. I'm going to season this with a little bit of our house mix. I got a little bit of fresh pepper seed. I'm not going to make it too spicy for you, I promise. Okay? And then I'm going to take my Parmesan cheese, which is over here, and we're going to make a sauce out of this egg yolk. There's about 2½ cups of Parmesan and Pecorino Romano. We're just going to whisk that just like that, okay? It's going to look like cornbread almost, okay? Pan's hot again. Pasta's looking almost done. Still a little firm. Give me a second here. So who's cooking tonight? What are you making? I'm not putting you on the spot. Think about it. All right. All right. Go ahead. Can't hear you. Is it on? I like to steam them for a little bit, and then I saute them with bacon, and I finish them off with Marcona almonds, and then I hit them with a little bit of balsamic reduction. Sweetens them up. So I'm going to take this right out of the boiling water into the frying pan with that starchy water, okay? I'm not going to strain it. I'm not going to rinse it. I'm going to take it right out. This is old school Italian, right out of the water. You throw it right in here. So my heritage is half Lebanese and half Italian. So I learned how to cook from 2 of the best grandparents any kid could ever grow up with, and then my mother, my late mother, was an amazing chef. So we're just going to stir that right into that bacon grease. This is so nice. Drop a little bit more in for everybody. Hey, Alan, I'm going to have you start scooping up some pasta when you get that mic figured out. So now what we've done here is we're just simmering. We're going to finish cooking this pasta dish right inside of this frying pan. We're going to add our egg and Parmesan mixture. Now this is when the starch water comes in. I've been married 28 years, and it took me about 22 years to get my wife to stop throwing out the starch water. So this is going to make a sauce. Again, this goes back to the peasant mentality of the Mediterranean food. Look how this is starting to turn into a creamy sauce. I made this for my staff the other day, in 5 minutes flat. We had been working about 10 hours. You know, good help's hard to find these days. So when you're lucky enough to have a good culinary team, you got to feed them, you got to take care of them, you got to make sure they're well fed and well hydrated when you're in a 100-degree kitchen. So can you see that? See how creamy that is? There's no heavy cream, right? We didn't put anything expensive. We didn't buy expensive butter. We put a few eggs in here. And the key is the starchy water. So we reserve the starchy water. We're going to add that right to there, okay? We're going to give it a quick little simmer again, a little stir. We're going to add the remaining part of that cheese and egg mixture. Now you could take grilled fish, grilled shrimp, grilled chicken, sauteed beef tips, anything your heart desires for a protein on here. You could crack an egg on top of this and serve it with an egg on top. That's how I used to eat it. So look how creamy that is. Isn't that pretty? You gonna make this? You gonna try to make it? It'll be worth the effort, I promise you. One little shot of starch water again. We're gonna see it simmer. Let's start boiling up some of this stuff for our guests, all right? We're gonna finish it off with our bacon bits. Okay. A little pinch of pepper seed. Yeah, that'll be on the city's Facebook page, the Farmers Fresh Market. So Henry Bowman, who's done such an amazing job with this, and the mayor and everybody have done such a nice job getting this together. I think we probably have a record crowd here today, wouldn't you say, Mr. Mayor? Let's hear it for the city of St. Clair Shores. I love this place. This is a great place to live, great place to raise your kids, great place to own a business. The community was amazing. The fire department backed me during COVID when I was shut down. I didn't have a lot coming in. The guys from the fire department come by and buy food, and the city reached out to me, and Candace Rusi sent out a big shout out to me on the social media page to support our local restaurants and catering halls that were hit pretty hard. I learned a lot about myself last year. I got real close to God real fast. Always been close though. So you need a tongue?
Chef, can I ask a question?
Yeah, please go right ahead.
Fettuccine Alfredo. So when you did the egg with the water, would that cause it to be so creamy when you add the cream to it and the butter as well? Or?
Yeah, so fettuccine Alfredo, there's a couple really cool ways to do it. How we do it at Encore is we start with garlic, butter, heavy cream, and we reduce it by half. And then we take the starchy noodles. Let's add some of this. That dried up in the heat a little bit. We add the starchy noodles to it, and we kind of make it so. Give me 1 second here. I don't want to burn myself. So we make it in a big bowl. We toss it, and then we bake it before we serve it out. So there's a couple really easy ways to make fettuccine Alfredo. The easiest way is to start with heavy cream, butter, garlic, salt, pepper. You could put a little nutmeg in there if you want. That's a traditional way of making fettuccine Alfredo. That's a good question. Thanks for asking. You always ask great questions. I think we all love food, right? So, but any other questions? Well, Alan's getting this together for you. So what's your favorite thing to make now that the weather's beautiful? What's your favorite barbecue dish? What do you like to make? What's that?
A burger.
Yeah, a burger. Has anybody tried the plant-based hamburgers yet? They're really good. So as a chef, one of the on-the-job hazards is eating too much red meat because it's always readily available. No pun intended, readily, red meat. We tend to just, honestly, on a busy week when I was like at my peak, I was eating 10 steaks a week. Like I could eat 3 steaks in a single day because it was there. And you know, if you're acclimated with chef life, you don't have a lot of time to eat, so you just tend to eat what's in front of you. And what's in front of you is usually like charcuterie board, like cheese, dried sausages, you know, very, very, very fat saturated scalloped potatoes, and then we have a lot of vegetables. So I've been on a plant-based diet for the last 4 weeks. And it's a nice cleanse, but I do miss my steaks. It's torture. I had to make 650 lamb chops yesterday on a grill, and I cracked. I had to have a lamb chop yesterday. So my cardiologist told me I should take a break from meat for a couple months. But I don't know. It's tough. It's, you know, I'm so passionate about the food. You have to taste the food. You know, I'm not comparing myself to a painter, but I think being a chef, you know, these are my paints, and then, you know, the frying pan might be my canvas, maybe, you know. And you get very attached to the ingredients. I believe in respecting our ingredients. You know, whether it's chicken, beef, vegetables, comes from the earth. We're very lucky to have the abundance of food that we have here. So I teach that to my young chefs. You know, it's not just about the monetary costs of food. It's just where that food came from. That was a living chicken at one time, or a baby calf, or I don't do veal, so I was in. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Yes. Yes. We do the Impossible Burger, and we do the Beyond Burger, and I think the Beyond Burger is a cleaner product. I like them. So my favorite go-to thing is not even make it like a hamburger. I'll lightly simmer, like just in a Teflon pan. I'll just kind of just cook it, warm it, get it up to temp, and then I'll make a nice bed of mixed field greens. And I'll prepare, I always prepare a couple quarts of quinoa, and I keep them in my fridge. So I'll saute some mushrooms in the oil, that beautiful coconut oil, because there's little pockets of coconut oil fat in those burgers that make them real juicy. I'll saute some mushrooms. I'll chop the burgers up, sprinkle it over my salad, and then I'll put the quinoa on there. I'll put some roasted peppers on there, some mushrooms on there, squeeze a little balsamic vinegar on it, a little bit of olive oil. That's super, super healthy. I'm a big proponent of eating those a couple days a week. It gives your body some time to catch up and process the animal proteins are really hard to digest. And my observation as being a chef, with COVID, you know, a lot of these meat processing plants are not processing the meat at 100% capacity. So the quality of the meat's not where it used to be 2 years ago. We're very careful where we buy our meat right now, because a lot of guys are shortcutting it, because it takes 90 days for a chicken to reach full slaughter growth. And they're trying to accelerate this faster because they're only cutting meat at 40% capacity right now. So in my industry, our beef prices have doubled. And you'll see it at the supermarket, that your grocery bill, the groceries you bought a month ago and the groceries you bought today are 30%, 40% higher. And it's not inflation, folks. It's a supply and demand issue, because our country's been so dormant for the last year because of COVID. Now everyone's like out and about. Look how packed this is, right? So there's a lot more consumers out there with a little bit of money in their pocket, and these factories can't keep up with the demand. So unfortunately, you know, the American people pay the price. So it's a little scary, but I think in a couple months it'll level out, because I was paying $10 a pound for beef tenderloin that I use for fillets for all my weddings. Now I'm paying $22 a pound, and the quality's it's tough to get the quality our expectations, because we have very high expectations with our quality. Any other questions about food or the economy, politics? No politics. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? That'd be cool. I think. Yeah. So I'm gonna have you pass these on stick forks and all those guys, okay? Alan's almost done. Alan's been with me, I think, what, 10 years, Alan? Yes. Alan's a good guy.
Are you still going to be downtown at Eastern Market?
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, we're gonna do the Lions tailgates. We got the green light for that. I'm coming over your shoulder, everybody. Watch your arm. Watch your arm. Hot, coming through. And I was just out with Ryan Armani the other night. We do our once a month cigar night, and so we usually cook something at his house or my house. We were at my house this time, and then so we were talking about some of the stuff we're going to do this year. I'm really excited. That was like the worst part of COVID, is not being able to go to Eastern Market and celebrate, you know, our amazing football team. They talk about irony. So my career as a TV chef depends on the success of the Lions. But they're going to do it this year, I promise. They're going to win 8 games. So Alan's going to get these together. Again, it's an honor to be here. I'll be here next month. I'm going to try to do it at least once a month for Henry and the mayor and the city. I love the city. And thank you very much for coming out today and making this such a huge success. This is so important. I mean, if we learned anything through COVID, community is everything, right? And look how beautiful this community shows today. Unbelievable. Yes, dear? Little bit, couple days a week. So that really wasn't our thing. Because, you know, my business is geared up to serve like 1,000 people a day. And so for me to, it wasn't profitable for me to sell 40, 50 meals a night. You know, and it was expensive to do it, but I did it because there was a necessity to kind of feed the neighbors and stuff like that. At first, there was like, you know, the supply chain was crazy. So I felt obligated to do it to support the neighborhood, and the neighborhood supported me. So it was such a blessing. Watch your step, all right? So Alan's going to come around. We'll keep filling. I think I got enough for like 40 guests. And again, Mr. Mayor, thank you for running such a great city. The fire department, the police department, we are so blessed. I gotta taste it, Bobby. So, but really, I appreciate you, and we're gonna get this served up, and everybody have a blessed and amazing summer. I'll see you at the parade. We're gonna have an amazing parade. We got a lot of people. A lot of my friends from Fox 2 are gonna be there. Charlie Langton's coming. It's a first for Amy Andrews. Amy Andrews is coming this year. And then I think I'm trying to get Ryan Armani not to go up to Charlevoix and walk with me and throw candy to the kids. So we'll see what happens. I got you, Councilman. We got Councilman Fredericks back there. He's a lifesaver. He saved me a couple times in my career over at Encore. He's a great guy. These guys are great guys for the city. I can't say enough nice things about our councilman and our mayor and our municipalities here.
And what about Brutus?
Brutus has been on a diet too. So Brutus lost 6 pounds. Brutus is my spoiled overweight bulldog. He's a Frenchie, and I brought him to the vet, and the vet looked at me and he's like, Chef Bobby, he goes, what are you feeding this guy? He's like all muscle, and he's about 10 pounds overweight. And he goes, what do you feed him? I said, I feed him fillet scraps, salmon scraps, lamb scraps, lots of lentils, lots of vegetables, and so I did an 80-20 diet for my dog. He's on 20% animal protein, 80% lentils, quinoa, and brown rice. It's actually very affordable because he was getting really bad patches on, like hot spots, they call them. Like just really bad hot spots, like this big on a little dog. And it was from his food that I was buying him the best kibble, but it just didn't agree with him. So I'm making his food once a week. Now I end up making all my staff's dogs food too now. So can I just take a little bit home for Skippy? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And so, but no, our dogs are amazing. They're everything. You know, our pets are so important to complete our family unit. You know, they're nicer than humans. They're so much nicer than humans. That unconditional love, you know, it's amazing. You get home from work and they're there waiting for you. So I think pets are awesome. So Ellen's gonna fix this. And again, thank you, Henry, wherever you are. Henry out there. Henry Ballman, everybody. This guy does everything here. He's got a great team, a great support system. I want to give Henry a round of applause. Thanks for getting me out of the kitchen on Sunday. I would be flipping omelets for brunch if it wasn't for you, baby. So it's good to be outside in the sun. So, all right, everybody. Stay blessed. Thank you so much. Have a great summer. I look forward to seeing you next month. Stay healthy. Thank you.
Tell you what, the meal, absolutely fantastic, Chef. I hope everybody tries this out at home. It was a great show. We're looking forward to a whole summer full of Farmers Market Fresh out here at the St. Clair Shores Farmers Market. We'll see you next month, June 27th. He's going to go on right around 11 o'clock or so. So come on down for the show. We'll see you then.